Hello everyone, my name is Jamie McQuaid from Magnet Forensics, and today we've got a quick video to help you get started with Magnet AXIOM. In this video, we're going to take a look at the different views you can use in Magnet AXIOM, and specifically AXIOM Examine. So I've got a case already open here, ready to go. We've already gone through the different dashboard, artifacts, file system, registry, and the explorers that way. But we're going to focus more on the views: column, classic, conversation, histogram, row, thumbnail, and all the other ones we've got there. So you can view the data in many different ways. The default view is the column view, which I've got open here. You can see you've got the artifacts on one side, you've got the evidence pane in here with all the columns laid out here, and some details along the side, along with anything that gets previewed in here, the source, location, and all of that sort of information. Tags and comments are hidden along the side here. And you can manipulate these any way you want. You can actually see this little button here. You can pop certain windows out, and if you had multiple screens and you wanted to move this over to another screen, you could do so. You could do this for this one as well. So if you wanted to get a little bit more real estate for viewing the different views or anything like that, you could do so like that, and you just put them back. They just snap right back into place, and you can change it any way you want. Obviously, I've just got one screen here, so not much I can do with it. But if you had multiple screens, you can move that over to another screen very easily. So that's a column view. That's my preferred view. I actually use it quite a bit. It allows me to do most of my work, but there's a lot of different views that, depending on the type of data you're looking for, might be better suited. Classic view. This is actually very similar to, if anybody came from IEF, very similar layout to how IEF was set up. You've got the same sort of setup here. It just gives you a bit more real estate on the evidence, and then the details are below here. So you can have either one as a default, but the default when you first install it is the column view. Now, conversation view is the next one, and this one obviously is going to show us conversations. So if I go into this one, it'll limit it down from instead of looking at all the artifacts, it's just going to show me any artifacts that have conversations to them. And I selected some Facebook chat here, and if I pull it over, really the key value to this is allowing me to visualize the conversations as the user might have seen it in the application. So Facebook chat, you can see there's a Facebook conversation going on, and I can actually view that, and I can export that out and include that in my report as well. What I find this really valuable for is your stakeholders. So any external stakeholders you might be presenting this to, especially if they're not very technical, this can be really helpful for them. And you can see we've got some chat ones, SMS, social media, all of that stuff's in there. So there's some WhatsApp messages in there, right there. We've got some random SMS messages and that, and nothing super special there. But again, you can do that for any sort of chat conversation that you might find in your investigation. Moving on further, we have the histogram view. Histogram view basically gives you a high-level summary of the most common artifacts and groups them all together. So in this case, most of them are pictures, but it gives you just that high-level bird's eye view that you might want to see of a breakdown of all the artifacts that we pulled out. Next one, row view. Just another way to kind of view the data. It gives you a little bit better view to actually go through in a little bit more details regarding timestamps or anything like that. Row view can help with that. And then we can move down to thumbnail view. Thumbnail view is great for pictures. It allows you to actually view the pictures a little bit nicer. You can adjust the size of the thumbnails. Right now I've just got it on solid, but you can use small, medium, large, depending on the size you want. And you can see that all the pictures are there. Now, anybody used picture viewing or thumbnail view in IEF. This is much improved with Axiom. You can see it scrolls very fast, and it loads those in, so there's no different pages or anything like that. It allows you just to quickly glance through those. Lots of icons in this one, so you can be selective here. If I want to just see all the photos that are related to a browser, you can see there's a bunch of icons up front, but if I scroll a little bit further down, now you can start seeing some actual browser related photos. So you can see that these are cache records or photos that came from the browser in some capacity, and we group them all that way. Same thing goes for social networking. You can see that we've just got Instagram there, but anything that's a social media type app, you'll see all the Instagram photos here, so you can actually go through and take a look at those as well. Otherwise, you can see all the videos, pictures, standalone, all as you want. Obviously, there's no columns in this one. So in order to sort or filter any of these, you would have to right click, sort by, and you can choose whatever categories or whatever values you want to sort by. Often I'll do one on size. So if I hit sort by size, it'll sort the records, all 120,000 or so, and allow me to sort by size. So the smaller ones are going to be at the top, the larger ones are going to be at the bottom. So I scroll down here and you get the larger photos in here. Now there aren't a lot of user generated photos in this case, so you can see there's still a lot of icons in this one, but that's a nice quick way to go through and get rid of some of those icons as they might be flooding your case, depending on what type of evidence you've loaded in. So moving over to next one, let me and go to timeline. So timeline view, where thumbnails only show you thumbnails, or anything with pictures. Timeline shows you anything with a timestamp. So it'll throw away any artifacts that don't have timestamps, but it'll show anything that does. So right now I'm just looking at pictures. So there's about 13,000 or 14,000 pictures that have timestamps to them. And you can see there's a broad range of them in here. So I can just zoom in here and take a closer look at just the very end here. And if I select something, I can actually view the details, and I can go through and actually take a look at the details of it. And again, I'm just looking at pictures here, but if I applied this to the larger case, I could view anything that's got a timestamp associated to it. You can highlight larger areas. So right now I'm just doing this little sliver, but if I wanted to cover, say, the entire section here, I can hold down Control, highlight over, and it would allow me to do that. So you can select it and view those details. So you can see now it's selecting a larger area. So this allows you to actually view your data in a timeline fashion. It visualizes it. You can use this in conjunction with the date and time filters that we've talked about, and that way you can narrow it in a little bit more granular as well. So it can be really helpful that way. Last view, world map view. So what we can apply world map view, basically it shows anything with geolocation data. And again, we've got pictures selected here. So I can see there's 12 pictures around this area, 2 over here. If I click on these, I can start zooming into these and taking a look at it. There's some pictures, so I can view the details, and you can take a look, and there's the actual picture. If I scroll down the details here, you get all the EXIF and metadata for it. It came from Instagram. There's the GPS coordinates, so that's what we're able to map out from it. And again, it gives you a really good idea. This came from the Apple iPhone X. So again, you can view other pictures as well, and take a look at those, and do the same sort of thing. Now this one also came from Instagram, so looks like there's a lot of Instagram photos there. So the one thing that's required for the world map view is it does require an internet connection. This is using Google Maps APIs to map these out, so it does require an internet connection. So if you are using a machine that's offline, you're not going to be able to use the world map view. You would have to connect it to the internet in order to utilize this this feature. That's everything I had for the views. Stay tuned for upcoming videos for other features with Magnet AXIOM. Thanks. Bye-bye.